Welcome to this episode of Action Video Game Talk. I'm your host, Scott Action Jackson, and I'm sorry for not posting any news articles sooner. I have been busy playing Destiny, and let's just hop right into the pile of news that we got for you today. Pokemon fans have a lot of reasons to be excited this fall. In case the release of Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby in November aren't enough, a new expansion for the Pokemon trading card game is coming, and the digital version is soon to arrive on iOS devices. To celebrate, the Pokemon Company has announced a giveaway for 2 free special Pokemon. First up is a shiny version of Gengar. From October 13th through the 26th, Pokemon X and Y players can get a code card at GameStop. This Gengar comes with Gengarite Megastone, so you can evolve it into a shiny Mega Gengar in battle. From October 27th through November 16th, you'll be able to get a card for a mystical Pokemon Diancie. Once you have won the new Ruby and Sapphire remakes, you'll be able to transfer it from X or Y. Find the Megastone and evolve it in battle. On October 13th, you'll also be able to pick up a early 2-pack of boosters from the upcoming Pokemon trading card game XY Phantom Forces expansion. Each booster holds 10 cards. The new expansion, which releases widely on November 5th, is also the first time Diancie will appear in the trading card game. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby will be out on November 21st for 3DS and 2DS. So everyone remembers that Gengar was one of the first original 150 Pokemon, and this new, well, if I'm ever saying this name right, Diancie is obviously one of the new types that must be from Pokemon X or Y. So according to this, if you get Diancie, you can actually transfer it over from X and Y to the Ruby and Sapphire remix, which I don't know how that's possible, unless of course they enhanced it where you can actually bring over new Pokemon that didn't exist in the original Ruby and Sapphire. Capcom has revealed the Ultimate Collector's Edition of Monster Hunter 4 for Nintendo 3DS. This limited edition package is only available in North America and is ready to be pre-ordered at GameStop. Along with a physical copy of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, the Collector's Edition comes with an exclusive translucent Gore Magala figure, a pin featuring a feline in Gore Magala armor, a lanyard, and a Monster Hunter themed cleaning cloth. The final design is still a secret. Finally, the set also comes with a small blue box to hold all your loot, and is modeled after the in-game supply boxes. Now this is a good amount of stuff for a collector's edition, especially physical stuff. And that's a good thing with Nintendo and the 3DS and actually sometimes the Wii stuff. The collector's editions usually have mostly physical stuff over digital. Now I know where I work I've received a few phone calls about if this is available to reserve or not. And every time when I checked, it wasn't even listed. So I guess it's still currently not available, or maybe it was available for a short time and got taken off. But I'm guessing something like this, if it's not $100, it's going to be maybe 150. But then again, I'm just taking an estimate on the price here, since nothing was listed in the news article as far as the price for the collectors. Sony revealed that a new 500GB PlayStation 3 bundle is coming this holiday season, packaged with LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham and the Sly Collection. The new PlayStation 3 bundle is scheduled to release November 11th for $270, according to Sony. LEGO Batman 3 launches on that same date, while the Sly Collection came out roughly 4 years ago. The LEGO Batman 3 and Sly Collection PlayStation 3 bundle is just the latest package from Sony this year for the last generation console. Earlier this year, the company unveiled a LEGO The Hobbit bundle, as well as an Amazing Spider-Man 2 bundle. Well, the article is partially right as far as I know I've seen other PlayStation 3 bundles out there, I mean, there are some stores that will have bundles exclusively for them. Because I know over at Walmart, I did see a PlayStation 3 500 GB system bundled with Destiny. So that's one other additional console that was released, unveiled, if you will. But yeah, I remember seeing the Amazing Spider-Man 2 bundle out and about, and along with the Lego Hobbit one. There was also The Last of Us had a bundle too with the PlayStation 3. So there are more than just 2 bundles. And as far as this might be a good idea, especially for anybody wanting to get a PlayStation 3 that's 500 GB and wants to get a hold of the new Lego Batman game. Because I know every year it seems like they always want to have some PlayStation 3 bundle with the Lego game. Because, you know, it's going to be around the holiday time for people to buy it for Christmas gifts. And kids play the Lego games. I mean, even some adults play them. But with this bundle, you have the system, 500 GB, a physical copy of Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, and a digital download, it looks like, for the Sly Cooper collection. And I'm saying it looks like it because this image here looks like it's showing just a voucher for the Sly Cooper collection. Bungie's latest space-faring adventure has garnered a lot of attention, and players aren't the only ones who are taking notice. Sony and Microsoft have been squabbling over the Activision-published game, with Microsoft taking a shot at its competitors' exclusive deals via a bizarre UK ad for a fake cologne. In a new interview, a Sony executive is emphasizing Destiny's importance to the PlayStation brand, saying that it's being treated like a first-party game within the company's walls. We're treating it for all intents and purposes internally as if it's a first-party release, Sony UK Managing Director Vigil Gara told Eurogamer. We're wrapping our arms around it on all levels of the organization. It's a special project, an important project, and it has the power to launch Christmas. It's hugely important. Even though the game is available on other platforms, Sony exclusive content, which is timed to remain so until the end of 2015, makes an appealing proposition to players who already have Microsoft and Sony consoles who are weighing a decision to purchase one. So yeah, Sony is treating Destiny like it's its own property, like if it's its own exclusive, which in a way it is. Destiny has a lot of exclusive content that is going to be out for the Sony systems first before Microsoft and Xbox One, Xbox 360 will be able to get these exclusives. Which the news article said right here will be, what, after 2015? Until the end of 2015. That's a long ways. All the marketing and ads and stuff have mostly been pushing Destiny for the PlayStation 4 over any other system. You may only know them as the first Destiny enemies we were introduced to, but the Fallen are much more than early game scrubs. These multi-armed mechs are space pirates and mercenaries that have taken root on the Earth and Moon. You and your guns will become quite familiar with them in the coming days. Unfortunately for Bungie, it looks like the invasion has begun in Bellevue, Washington. A Fallen skiff has landed outside the studio and, well, let's just hope that the Destiny launch is automated. The picture was taken by Microsoft Xbox Live Operations Architect Eric Neusedater. We assume he was just stopping by to say hello before the big launch. Yeah, this little picture here was more or less to help Bungie celebrate its launching of the Destiny title. I guess some kind of artists went with like full gray, silver grayish with this. Make it look more like a stone ship than an actual one that was in the game. Destiny is out. Bungie has made some tweaks since the game was pressed, and the studio is rolling out a patch to make sure you've got the most up-to-date experience. Included with the lengthy patch notes, Bungie says it has reconfigured the unlock order for subclass skill trees, tweaked class abilities, and implemented a number of weapon changes. Each of the classes and all the weapon types have been massaged a bit. You can read the rundown, which you may not fully understand until you actually play the full game, on Bungie's website. Destiny is out on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 3. Yeah, this was just the day one patch that they had for the game. I know when the midnight was happening for the Destiny where I was working, I read that the servers for Destiny was actually live, like that morning, because they were giving out the game at, I think, Australia first, and then they were going more or less around the world for every hour. So they had to have the servers up really early, and then they had to have this day one patch available right away too, because they had to tweak a few things. They had to, I guess, even up some of the weapons so that it's not too overpowered, even though, let's face it, when you got a rocket launcher, it's going to be overpowered. For the first time in nearly 20 licensed games, Warner Bros. Is announcing a Season Pass. LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham will be getting 6 pieces of content, including a celebration of the Dark Knight's 75th anniversary and 2 recent DC Comics films. The first 3 packs will be available alongside the game on November 11th. They are the Dark Knight pack, recreating the chase scene from the second Christopher Nolan film. The Man of Steel pack tasks Jor-El and Laura with sending young Kal-El to Earth. Finally, the Batman 75th pack will unlock a number of different Batman costumes from throughout the years. You'll be playing as Joker and Harley Quinn also, as they set up the party for Batman. The Season Pass is $15 and will unlock more than 40 characters, vehicles, and new achievements. The remaining 3 packs have yet to be detailed. For me, this is kind of shocking. I mean, for as many LEGO games that they've made, they have never made a Season Pass. But then again, they probably have so much downloadable content they want to make for this game that it makes sense to make it. And the first 3 here, the Dark Knight pack, the Man of Steel pack, and Batman 75th Anniversary pack. Now, I'm wondering how many Batman costumes, or what Batman costumes they'll be using for the 75th anniversary. Because we all know that they have been making these animated cartoon shorts to celebrate the 75th anniversary that they posted on, I think, YouTube and maybe even like the Warner Brothers website itself. Now with the Dark Knight pack, I was hoping something a little bit better than just recreating a chase scene, because that doesn't sound too exciting. And we have the Man of Steel pack right here, which I guess they're trying to put together the spaceship and get everything ready for launching Kal-El to Earth. And the Season Pass is only $15. That sounds very cheap. The cheapest Season Pass I think I've heard of when the Season Passes have come out have been at least $20. If you were planning on picking up the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 versions of Shadow of Mordor this month, we have some bad news. The last generation versions need a bit more time on the forge. Warner Bros. Has announced that the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions of the game will now be releasing on November 18th in the US and November 21st in Europe. Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC versions are still on track for September 30th in the United States and Europe. This means that after movement on both Dragon Age Inquisition and Shadow of Mordor, the titles will still be going head-to-head after all. This is a bit upsetting. Why do they need more time to work on the last generation versions? I mean, if a game is focused more on the new generation version, the last generation version shouldn't be that more difficult to make. At least we know it's only, I guess, a month. I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been delayed 2 to 3 months. But it's just November 18th here in the US, November 21st for Europe. But Apparently the PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 versions are still on track for September 30th. Oh, say, can you see? Ubisoft is offering up a bundle of 3 Assassin's Creed titles focused on life in and around colonial America. Assassin's Creed The Americas collection includes Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, and Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The bundle will be available on October 28th, which you might recall as the pre-delay release date of Assassin's Creed Unity. The bundle will be available on October 28th. Assassin's Creed The Americas collection will be released on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. No price has yet to be announced. When I first read the title, Assassin's Creed The Americas Edition, at first I thought, hey, guess what? It's a collector's edition for the new Assassin's Creed, but when I actually read the article, it's like, oh wait, they're just bundling up some of the games like they did with the NCO trilogy. Which we should have expected seeing this happening. I mean, with the NCO trilogy, I think it had one, two... No, it didn't even have one. I think it had 2, Brotherhood, and... what's the other one? Yeah, sorry, I forgot the name of the other one, but... I should remember this, but I can't, But yeah, the NZO trilogy had 3 games bundled into it. Unfortunately, didn't have the very first Assassin's Creed for some odd reason. This kind of makes sense, adding the remaining 3 onto an actual... Well, actually, I shouldn't say remaining 3, because there is some more Assassin's Creed games out there that they haven't put onto disc yet. Rocksmith 2014, the second installment of Ubisoft's instructional guitar franchise, may be coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4, according to a new ESRB rating information page. The page, which has since been removed, can be seen via the screenshot. The new generation consoles are mentioned at 2 points in the new filing, and aren't mentioned at all in Rocksmith's 2014 original ESRB rating page. A similar product appeared on an Amazon Italian listing, which has since been removed as well. However, Twitter user LifeFlower screen grabbed the page before it was taken down. According to Amazon Italy, as translated by Google, the current generation version will support DLC that was previously purchased on last generation consoles. I could see this actually happening. If they don't get around to making Rocksmith 2014 for PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, they could at least wait until the next Rocksmith and release it for the new generation systems. Resident Evil Revelations 2 is set to star series favorite Claire Redfield, along with a daughter of Resident Evil 1's Barry Burden called Moria. That's according to a new reveal in the latest issue of Games Master via Push Start, which also confirms the game's campaign can be tackled in both single-player or co-op modes. While Claire will be making the most of her years of experience to be the title's primary combat expert, Moria's role is more backup-oriented. Resident Evil Revelations 2 takes place between the events of Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 in a detention facility on an abandoned island. Claire and Moria are kidnapped and deposited there upon the game's opening, tasked with facing down a new enemy type called the Inflicted, with producer Michitu Okobi describing them as something quite different from the series' traditional zombies. Fans of the more traditional Resident Evil titles will be pleased to hear the game is set to be a survival horror entry in the franchise, more akin to the original Revelations or early Resident Evil games, instead of mimicking the action-filled adventures of 5 and 6. The project has been finding the line between listening to fan feedback and also doing something different to confound expectations, Okobi added. I want this to be both a game that doesn't lose what made its predecessor great, while also bringing something new and exciting to the Resident Evil series. Achieving that lofty goal by bringing together past and future will make this an itchy tasty prospect indeed. Resident Evil Revelations 2 will launch on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC in 2015. I like the little nod he gave here towards the first game where he said itchy tasty. But yeah, we actually know the two characters that's going to be available in this game, which is going to be Claire Redfield along with the daughter of Barry Burden, and sorry if I got the name wrong, but I just kept saying Moira, which Moira. Sorry, but that's how it came out to me. So, and then saying that this is going to go back to the survival horror type. That's what people have been wanting with the Resident Evil games, not some action, adventure, Call of Duty type game. But yeah, this is going to be great. I mean, it's going to be great to see Claire Redfield back in the game, which we haven't seen Claire Redfield in a Resident Evil game since Code Veronica? I want to say Code Veronica unless she was in, well, if you want to count the Chronicle games, you know, the Umbrella Chronicles and the Darkside Chronicles, and that this might be the first game that she's actually back in. NBA Live 15 won't be making its October 7th release date, but thankfully the game has only been pushed back a few weeks. NBA Live's new release date is October 28th, which means it will release alongside the opening night of the 2014-15 NBA season. According to executive producer Sean O'Brien, the delay was put in place in order to give the game its final bit of polish. O'Brien revealed the new release in an open letter on EASports.com. In the letter, O'Brien said the extra time will give the team the space it needs to let the game reach its full potential. Though it is not stated in the letter from O'Brien, the delay may also have been put in place in order to release away from the NBA 2K15. Prior to the delay, the games were scheduled to release on the same day. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but EA Sports and Sean O'Brien, your game is going to suck. I mean, let's face it. Last year, you guys have said that your NBA Live game was focused on its dribbling system. And it looked like garbage. That's all it was. It looked like garbage. And from what I've heard, it played like garbage. So, once again, NBA 2K is going to be whipping your ass and going to be dominating the basketball scene as far as video games. Because it has been for a long time now. And even though, as much as I hated LeBron James being on the cover of, I think, last year's game, still, the game dominated. Warner Brothers and Rocksteady have dated the final chapter in the Arkham series. The title is headed for a June 2nd, 2015 release. Batman Arkham Knight was originally on track to release this fall before Rocksteady and Warner Brothers delayed the title in June. The game is planned exclusively for new generation consoles and PC. Warner Brothers have also announced 2 collector's editions for the game. The limited edition comes with an art book, a steelbook case, a limited edition Arkham Knight comic, 3 new 52 character skins, and a Batman memorial statue. Given that memorials imply that someone has died, we're curious about what this might mean for the story. Retail price on the limited edition is $99.99. The Batmobile edition comes with everything above except the Batman monument is replaced by a Triforce-created statue of Batman's iconic ride. The statue is fully transformable, which we assume means it can take on the different modes as seen in the game and won't become a robot. This version costs $199.99 and is only available for consoles. The title features a mysterious figure known as the Arkham Knight, Scarecrow, and other members of Batman's Rogue Gallery. It's planned for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Now, one major thing to note here is in the news article, it says that this is a Batman memorial statue for the limited edition. When I first saw the image for the limited edition, it just looked to me like a normal Batman statue. And of course, over on the Batmobile edition, you have the Batmobile that can transform into another form. And that's a real expensive version. So with these two collector's edition, that kind of looks similar to what they were doing with the Call of Duty collector's editions. Where it's like, okay, one was a little bit expensive, and one is a lot more expensive. Which I think the only thing missing from the Batmobile edition is for it to actually be drivable, maybe like by remote or something. Now, it seems a bit funny that its release date is now June 2nd, 2015, when it got delayed in June of this year. But that's just something I find funny. Now, I'm guessing that eventually, if not later on, maybe soon, they might announce a season pass for Batman Arkham Knight. Because I know that they have for the previous ones. So that'll do for this episode of Action Video Game Talk. Thanks for listening along, watching along. Once again, I will have a link down below for the Facebook page if you want to go check that out. Later on, I'll have the separate clips up from this episode if you want to check those out too. So until next time, bye.